Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and let's talk about the Spider-Man Far From Home official trailer. Now some people are calling it trailer 2, which it is kind of trailer 2, but I'm gonna just go with official trailer. And it is spoiler heavy, so if you have not seen Endgame, don't even bother watching it, but most people have said, including myself, Endgame has made about $2.4 billion right now. It's the second highest grossing movie of all time at this current moment. Potentially could, by the end of the month, it could potentially be the highest grossing movie of all time, or at least tied for it. If you haven't seen it, I can't think of anyone who wants to see this movie who haven't at least seen it in theaters, seen it in a bootleg kind of way. But if you wanted to see this movie, you have seen this movie. There's just no way around it. You've seen the movie. So, Spider-Man Far From Home takes place, according to the director and according to some of the Russos as well, it takes place minutes. It takes place probably, from what I remember, maybe like a few days, a day or two, or minutes after, like I said, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know it takes place very, very, not a month, smaller than a week, that's for sure, after the events of Endgame. So this is a couple days later. This is a couple days or a couple hours later after, like, the events of Endgame, after the funeral and all that jazz. So I wouldn't be surprised if the movie itself even starts off, now that I've seen the trailer and seen how it's kind of, the approach of the trailer, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts off with Happy like flying back from wherever Tony Stark's house was on the jet with in Pepper and Happy being like Peter and Aunt May's ride, from back and forth from the funeral. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts off like that. But the trailer is great. It's a phenomenal trailer, by the way. It's a great trailer because it does this thing at the beginning where it hits you right in the feels. You come out of Endgame, one of the big things you remember is Iron Man's death, and it hurts, and, you're going through a lot, you have a lot emotionally, it hits you right in the heart, and you're just like, this sucks. And literally, it's been 2 weeks since Endgame. I had just finally started to come, because I'm not gonna lie to you folks, Endgame, Iron Man's death, Iron Man and Black Widow's death didn't hit me because I know deep down that she's coming back. I know she's coming back because first of all, the MCU aren't in the habit of making one-offs. They are not making a one-off Black Widow prequel. They don't do that, especially if the movie turns out to be successful, which I'm having thoughts that it is. If Ant-Man can make $600 million, Black Widow probably going to make $800 million. That's a huge hit. And especially on the budget since it's more down low. So I have a feeling that Black Widow will return. Either it's going to be a Gamora situation where it's a different Black Widow from a different timeline. Something. But she will return. I don't know why, how, I don't know what. I don't care what people think. I've got a feeling she's coming back. So, the Black Widow death, while it was emotional, and the moment when I was watching it, the death that really sunk it to me was Tony's death, because I honestly don't think they're bringing Iron Man back. I think Iron Man is dead. Like, he is dead. They aren't bringing him back. They aren't doing no timeline shit. He is dead. And seeing the beginning of this trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, where it just starts off with Peter looking at this, painting, this, mural, basically, of Iron Man on the side of a building, and he's just looking at it, and you heard Tom Holland doing great, amazing job acting here, just going, everywhere I go, I see his face. And it just hit me, man, because it just reminded me of all the emotions I had already felt when Iron Man ended. Like, oh my gosh, the emotions. Like, it was rough. I can't even listen to an AC. That week that I watched Endgame, I could not listen to AC/DC because it just kept reminding me of Iron Man. And I'd just be like, I don't want to listen to this right now. Just reminded me of Iron Man. But, in this, it brought me all the way back. You see him and Happy having a conversation about Tony wouldn't have... Happy tells him, he's like, Tony wouldn't have done what he did if he didn't think you would be here when he was gone. And the truth is, and I've seen some people kind of getting uppity about the trailer. I've seen some people kind of going, well, why is he trying to replace Iron Man? He's not Iron Man. He's Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, he is Spider-Man. But in the MCU, for lack of a better term, he is the heir. He is Iron Man's protege. He's the protege. Iron Man handpicked this kid. He was his protege. He was his, he was the guy underneath him, Like, he was the kid he was training. And, like, the thing is, Peter will replace Iron Man. And a lot of people were kind of going with these headlines not too long ago about, oh, Sony's just going to snatch Spider-Man out of the MCU. They think they're good. They're going to just... No, they're not. Because Marvel, to me, in this trailer, said one important thing. They would not put so much stock into Spider-Man. This movie is capping off Phase 3. Not only is it capping off Phase 3, but it's setting up so much of Marvel's future. And not only that, but it's setting up the idea to put in people's minds that Peter will not literally replace Iron Man, but theatrically replace Iron Man as the main dude. I'm talking the guy who the entire universe, the guy who is the most important person in the foundation, that he was literally handpicked. And to be fair, when I've seen a lot of people snick at that whole line Happy said, which was like, oh yeah, Iron Man did that just for Peter Parker. But if you don't remember Endgame, Iron Man refused to help out, Captain America and the gang try to go back in time until he looked at the picture of Peter and felt terrible and was like, so in a way, and first thing he did when he saw Peter, he hugged him. In a way, he really did only do this for Peter in a weird way, because he had nothing to gain from doing this. Yeah, bring half everyone back, but he was like, fuck all of them. I mean, to be fair, he was like, fuck all of them. What I got is more important. But he couldn't live not having Peter around. He couldn't live with that. So he had to bring him back. And he was all, and like in Iron Man, and even in Far From Home, there's an amazing, one of my favorite scenes in that movie. I love Far From Home. Anyone knows me knows I love Spider-Man Far From Home. It's my favorite Spider-Man movie. It's in a dead tie with Spider-Verse in terms of actual Spider movies, because Spider-Verse is great. But I love the scene where Peter's like, I wanted to be just like you. When they have that conversation, when Peter just fucked up. And he said, I wanted you to be better. And I wanted you to be better. Like, he means that. They have been setting up that he really thinks Peter can take his place. Or not take his place as in literally become Iron Man. Take his place as in be a better version of who he is. Like, he sees Peter and he sees this kid with the potential, with brains like him and the potential to be better than him. And he wanted to groom him to be that. And he turned out to be that. And maybe not turned out to be that. We don't, it's to be determined. But the movie itself right now, because throughout the trailer, there's little nods and there's little like talking about, is Peter replacing Iron Man? We need someone to replace Iron Man. And I have my own theories about how some of these things in the movies are going to go. But there's a whole bunch of, themes about, will you replace Iron Man? And like I said, some people are taking it literally. They don't mean it like as in he's literally going to be the new Iron Man. Like, no, they mean it as in, will you take the place of the guy on the ground who is the centerpiece, who is the hero that people can look up to, who's the hero who the way you looked up to Iron Man, can you be the person that people who is this public hero who people can look up to? And that's what they mean by replacing Iron Man. And I got these theories that I'm pretty sure I'll get into in a separate video, but I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the trailer itself. It had a hilarious bit with Happy's hilarious when Nick Fury calls him. First, he gets this awesome action sequence at the beginning with him in the Iron Spider suit. A lot of people were like, I hope he get rid of the Iron Spider suit. And I was like, well, why would he get rid of the Iron Spider suit? It's literally a badass suit, and it's the last thing Tony ever gave to him, so it's really rough to just try to get rid of it now. And he has a many suits throughout the course of this trailer, so you're not going blind. No. He has 4 suits. Count them. 4. He has the Iron Spider suit, the original suit from Homecoming and, Civil War. He has a suit that's like the original suit, but instead of blue, it's black. And he has an all-black tactical suit, or as they call it, the Spider-Man, the stealth suit. He has a stealth suit that's a little bit more low-key, it's a little bit more on the DL. It's kind of makes him he blends into the background. It's a stealth suit. So he has 4 suits that we've seen in the movie. So you can kind of tell how it's probably going to go a little bit. But and then you got this awesome action sequence with him in the beginning and him just being in his own with the suit and his abilities, and it's all just kind of coming together. And you see him have this nice little exchange with the cops, which is great because in the comics, in the comics, Batman's it's not like Batman's relationship with the cops, like the GCPD in the comics, is basically we got your back. But he doesn't really like interact. He really interacts with like occasionally, but he's not. But Spider-Man, it's kind of cool to have him be this. He feels more neighborhood like because he's just interacting with the cops. He's just kind of busting chops with the cops. He's just like, I got your back. And it's like Spider-Man feels more like he feels like a part of a community, the way he talks and whatnot. And obviously he's like, I'm going on vacation, and then Nick Fury's calling him, and he doesn't want to do that, and like minor Easter egg in that scene with Happy and Peter. In the background, you can see a poster that says Bonesaw. Bonesaw and the other wrestler who in the original comic book, the Spider-Man fought in the original comic book and Sam Raimi movies, he had a fight with the wrestler named Bonesaw for money. And that's when he first used his powers, was to wrestle that guy. And it's kind of an Easter egg in the background, like that could have happened. Who knows? They just kind of go a little past it. It could have happened. Who knows? And you see Peter kind of going like, I don't want to talk to Nick Fury. He's just, it seems like Peter is just out of it. He's like, I don't want to really be involved in any more shit. Like, I'm going to stay in his like, he's like, I want to keep my left feet to the ground, And he's he's already going through the emotions of losing Tony. So he's and the big theme is Peter feeling pressure. He feels pressure. He knows that a good reason, one of the biggest reasons Tony even went through with any of this was to bring him back. So in a weird way, it's his duty to live up to Iron Man's legacy. It's his duty to, replace him, or at least that's how he feels. And I can kind of tell where the story is going to go. At least I can tell where his character arc's going to be. It's going to be about him not trying to be Iron Man. But I think in the beginning, and you can kind of see it throughout the course of the trailer too, the trailer kind of gives away any story plots, but gives away kind of his character arc to me. And the thing is, you can tell it's going to be one of those things where he's going to be wearing the Iron Spider suit at the beginning, because he's going to be like, I'm going to replace Iron Man, I'm going to live up to his legacy, and he's going to be just like, I'm the new Iron Man, I'm living up to his legacy. And then slowly progressive throughout the movie, he's going to finally come to the conclusion, I can't be the next Iron Man. I need to just be the first Spider-Man. And he's going to stop trying to do that, and he's going to just try to live up to the legacy and not try to replace him. But that's going to be his journey throughout the course of the movie, is realizing I can't be someone I'm not. I have to be me. That's what Tony would want me to be. And that's going to be an amazing journey. It's probably going to get some teary eyes. It's probably going to be great. Now, moving on to, it looks like they're all going on this vacation. You kind of heard about it in another trailer. They're going on a vacation out, and seems like they're going on like a tour, because they're in different cities. They're at one point they're in Britain, at one point they're in Venice. So it's kind of like this world tour, which I guess it makes sense. It's easy to forget that technically Peter was going to like a really smart school. It kind of goes over your head because it just looks like a normal school, but it's technically like a magnet school. It's like a really, really smart school. So it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like a school, really like one of those Madnik schools, one of those rich, like one of those schools for the gifted minds would probably be able to afford to send some of their gifted minded individuals to like a world tour to see all these things. So it makes sense to me. But the thing is, and then Nick Fury eventually catches up to him, obviously. Peter shouldn't have ghosted Nick Fury. I love that line, don't ghost Nick Fury. And like Nick Fury's just like, found your ass. And you meet Mysterio. You meet Jake Gyllenhaal as Quentin Beck Mysterio. And he says he's from another Earth. He says he's from this version of Earth. And that Peter's from, and like, it's nuts. He says he's from a separate Earth. Technically, Mysterio says he's from Earth 833. And that this Earth that, in Marvel is 616, which it is 616, but there's multiple 616 because, Marvel continuity. But yeah, he says he's from a different Earth, and like, you're like, oh man, and then Peter says multiverse. Now, everyone lost their shit over the multiverse thing. I'm gonna get into that in a separate video because there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, and you see Mysterio, and you see how Peter and him becoming friends, and there's a hilarious line with Nick Fury saying, bitch, please, you went to outer space, you're not friendly with Spider-Man anymore. But all in all, and then, like I said, the trailer was great. You got to see a little bit more of the elementals, which I got theories about as well. You got to see a little bit more of where the world is. Well, you didn't get too much into that, but I'm sure they're going to get into it. And you can see that Mysterio and him and Peter are having a Kendrick kind of spirit thing going on, where they're gonna have a nice, interesting relationship. It seems like MJ knows that he's Peter, but like a lot of, I'm kind of with a couple other people who've already said that they have a gut feeling that she's gonna be like, I'm just fucking with you, like she really doesn't know that he is Spider-Man. She's just kind of just fucking with him, which she would do. But Awesome sequence with him dodging fire, and then hilarious end sequence with Happy being like, I work with Spider-Man, that poor Spider-Man. So all in all, great trailer. Had a blast watching it. Hits you right in the feels. I can't wait to see it, man. It comes out in about 2 months from now, so can't wait. Thank you for joining me on the Comic and Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.